Yeah, so unfortunately, when we were running the 48 through, it didn't pass the minimum weight specs.
Hours after the checkered flag waved, officials threw a wrench into the NASCAR Cup Series playoff race. When Kyle Larson won at the Charlotte Roval, all 4 Hendrick Motorsports drivers advanced to the round of 8. That's no longer the case, and Hendrink Motorsports are not happy about what happened after the race. It's insane to call the least. Alex Bowman, driver of the number 48 HMS Chevrolet, has been disqualified for failing the post-race technical examination. NASCAR authorities determined that the car did not fulfill the minimum weight criteria, leaving HMS shocked after celebrating 4 out of 4 within the last 8. The NASCAR Cup Series managing director Brad Moran provided the following reason for the DQ. Unfortunately, when we were running the number 48 through, it didn't pass the minimum weight specs. We pulled the car off to the side and we allowed them to fuel it, which they already did. We let them fuel it again. We let them run the pumps to make sure all the pickup boxes were full. We give the teams every opportunity to try and meet the minimum weight. We also have them plug in the water and run the water through the system to make sure they're full of water, and then we rescale it. Still didn't meet the weight. We backed it off and we run it across one more time just to confirm the weights were accurate, and unfortunately, they did not meet minimum weight. They are allowed a 0.5% of a weight break, which is about 17 pounds, give or take. That is what they're allowed, and it was more than that. Hendrick Motorsports' immediate reaction to the DQ. We are working to understand the issue and will make a decision Monday about whether to submit an appeal. Bowman finished 18th in the race and won Stage 2, but it's all gone now. He has been dropped to 38th place, last, and lost all stage points. Bowman is now out of the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series playoffs, allowing 2-time Cup winner Joey Logano to return to competition. Logano, driving the Num 22 team Penske Ford, missed the cut by only 4 points at the checkered flag. Joey Logano discussed his that at that time looked like elimination from the playoffs following Sunday's Roval 400. I mean, we fought hard for sure, and I think Paul and the guys did a good job of executing the strategy of what we needed to do today, Logano said. Just didn't get quite enough there at the end. Fell off a little bit too much that last run. Honestly, the 45 and Tyler and those guys did a good job driving up through the field and scored more points. It's hard not to think about Richmond a little bit right now. I guess the positive for us were in the Owners' Championship, so we can confuse all the fans from here on out about Drivers and Owners' Championship. The money's in the owners, so we'll keep fighting for the money. But Logano's back in, and this also greatly upsets the owners' standings he talked about, with Bowman and the number 48 HMS Chevrolet out. Following the infringement, the round of 8 playoff standings are as follows. Kyle Larson, plus 33 points. Christopher Bell, plus 13. Tyler Reddick, plus 10. William Byron, plus 4. Ryan Blaney, minus 4. Denny Hamlin, minus 8. Chase Elliott, minus 9. And Joey Logano, minus 11. Bowman joins Austin Cindric, Daniel Suarez, and Chase Briscoe in being eliminated in the round of 12. However, following Alex Bowman's disqualification from the Bank of America Roval 400 on Sunday due to his car's post-race weight, the potential of an appeal has emerged. However, it is uncertain whether Hendrick Motorsports will take that path. The company issued a statement on Sunday evening on the surprising turn of events. We are working to understand the issue and will make a decision Monday about whether to submit an appeal, Hendrick Motorsports stated. One possible route of appeal is that an obecht appeared to have come loose of Bowman's car during one of the race's corners. Another driver's dashcam video showed what seemed to be a substantial piece dislodging from Bowman's car after hitting a bump on the track. It's probable the piece was enough to create the weight differential that resulted in Bowman being disqualified from the race, earning a P38 finish and dropping out of the top 8 in the playoff standings by points. If Alex Bowman's disqualification remains, Joey Logano will advance to the round of 8 in the playoffs on points. For now he's out, and Brad Moran explained the decision. Following the race, the NASCAR Cup Series managing director stated the reasons for the number 48 car's disqualification. So let's dissect what he said to find out if the dislodged piece could save Bowman's playoffs. Unfortunately, when we were running the Num 48 through, it didn't pass the minimum weight specs, Moran said. We pulled the car off to the side and we allowed them to fuel it, which they already did. We let them fuel it again. We let them run the pumps to make sure all the pickup boxes were full. We give the teams every opportunity to try to meet minimum weight. We also have them plug in the water and run the water through the system to make sure they're full of water, and then we rescale it. Still didn't meet the weight. We backed it off and we run it across one more time just to confirm the weights were accurate. Unfortunately, they did not meet the minimum weight. They are allowed 0.5% of a weight break, which is about 17 pounds, give or take. That is what they're allowed, and it was more than that. But if it's all about weight and HMS can make a case with the lost part, they might have a win to win the appeal. One thing is sure, Alex Bowman's ban has significance since it eliminates him from the Cup Series playoffs. Joey Logano, who has won 2 Cup Series titles, will replace Bowman and participate in the round of 8. Bowman rides for Hendrick Motorsports, and the team has stated that it would gather further evidence before determining whether to appeal. If the appeal happens, it'll be expedited, so it'll probably happen in the next couple of days, Moran said. So really can't get into all the details of the information, but the car was light, and that's where we ended up. Bowman's Num 48 car will be returned to the NASCAR Research and Development Center in Concord, North Carolina, until the appeals process is completed, should one is filed. We are working to understand the issue and will make a decision Monday about whether to submit an appeal, Hendrick Motorsports said. Even though Bowman looks out for now, HMS had something to celebrate, as Kyle Larson won decisively in the redesigned Charlotte Roval ahead of Christopher Bell and William Byron. After retrieving the checkered flag, Larsson took daughter Audrey for a trip around the track in his Num 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet. It's the first time in my playoff career I've not been close to the cut line, so it was good to have a little bit of a stress-free week, Larsson told ESPN. I think it's the first time I've been here without crashing. Good weekend. Obviously we're here at Hendrick's home and got so many people here from there. Gonna be fun to celebrate with them. Knowing that I don't really use the sim much and I was in the sim this week. So huge thank you to the guys there. It really helped me get into a rhythm early on and help us kind of fine-tune our car. Hats off to everybody there. Though Larsson was cruising, drivers near the cutoff were under intense pressure, particularly Tyler Reddick, who had a roller coaster of a race. The 2311 racing driver won Stage 1 before colliding with his boss Denny Hamlin at the start of Stage 2, causing damage to both cars. The team was able to make repairs, and he drove heroically through the field on new tires. With a few laps remained, Reddick narrowed the distance on Joey Logano and passed him on the track and in the points standings for the final transfer place. Logano, a 2-time NASCAR Cup winner, was at that time eliminated, but not for long. Following post-race inspection, Alex Bowman was disqualified for failing to satisfy the minimum weight criteria. The punishment knocks him out of the playoffs and brings Logano back in. Austin Cindric, who finished 4th, was also eliminated from championship contention. Daniel Suarez and Chase Briscoe were ousted along with Bowman, although HMS has the option to appeal. What do you think? Will the appeal have any chance? Or is Bowman out and does he have to focus on helping his HMS teammates get to the top 4? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.